yoga sequence. So all you will need is your mat, and then I am propped up onto a seated meditation bolster. If you don't have a bolster, we can definitely use like a couch cushion. You want it to be somewhat firm, something that can hold you so you can fully rest onto it and not feel like you're gripping or not putting your entire weight onto the bolster. So yeah, feel free, grab a couch cushion, you can grab some pillows, maybe even stack them up. You can get really creative with the prop. And once you feel grounded and rested, noticing how the hips are higher than the knees, just ever so slightly, allowing space through the low back and the pelvic region. Just begin to close down the eyes. Beginning to notice your space here on the mat. Noticing your surroundings, any sounds that you hear from within and outside. And starting to notice your physical sensations. Where is there tension lingering within the body? Where does it feel good to be in your body? A lot of times we come to the mat and we notice the aches and the pains first, which is totally normal. Let's see where it feels good. Now with the eyes closed down, you're allowing yourself to heighten all of the other senses. Noticing the sounds, noticing the feeling within your physical body, and then start to maybe notice some taste. Offering a hand mudra as our mantra and intention for today. Go ahead and blink open the eyes ever so slightly. And you're going to take your left hand palm facing up to the belly, and then making a thumbs up with your right hand, taking the fist onto the left palm, and the right thumb will reach up. And don't feel like you have to force a really straight thumb, just allow it to be normal. Take a shoulder roll, take the shoulders up to the ears, and exhale, relax the shoulders down. So this mudra is called Shiva Linga Mudra. And this is the mudra for strength, finding the fire within. If you're feeling lethargic, tired, unmotivated, depressed, this is the mudra for you to tap into. Allowing the chest to lift, relaxing the shoulders back. Find this confidence from within. Fist into palm, strong midline, taking several deep breaths. As you start to seal the lips together, beginning to inhale and exhale through your nose, creating that beautiful oceanic sound in the back of the throat. knowing that this practice is here to slow you down. And it's also here to create strength from within, to build our confidence on and off the mat. And when your mind begins to wander off, as it naturally does, come back to this mudra, this mantra. Come back to the breath. Be in this moment. Deepening the breath as you begin to release the hands, taking the hands back down to the knees, palms will face down. Drinking in a few more breaths. And then slowly begin to blink open the eyes. Beginning to make our way off of the bolster, we're going to take it across the mat horizontally and bring it up closer to the top. We're going to lay our chest over as we come into Sphinx pose. Now, with yin, feel free to be as propped up as you would like to be. Traditionally, it is using, this practice is using no props. So if you don't even want the bolster, then feel free to ditch it off to the side. As we come into Sphinx, you're going to come onto hands and knees and then bring the elbows down in front of the bolster and then start to lower yourself down. So you're gonna have anywhere with your torso, we all have different bodies, right? So for me, I have right underneath the chest, my whole ribs, floating ribs, and then even down to the belly, resting on the bolster. So it might be like that for you, it might be a little bit different. Definitely feeling that sensation onto the belly. Allowing the hands to plant down. Find activation here with the fingers separated, finding a nice webbing. And start to sway out the hips. Releasing through the glutes, and then allowing the legs to be as close together as you would like. Maybe even take the mat distance apart. Heels can rock out, heels can rock in. Be natural here. And allowing the head to be in line with the spine. A lot of times in the Sphinx pose, we'll either crank the head up or dump the head down. And at least for these first opening breaths, see if you can keep it in line. Probably gazing towards your fingers, maybe even towards the top of your mat. Closing down the eyes. As you deepen the breath, noticing the constriction with the belly. And if you like to explore your neckline, go ahead and take the gaze over to one shoulder. Drop the chin into the chest and take it to the other shoulder. You might circle all the way around or take some half circles. Move slowly, be gentle. And as you take a few circles in one direction, allow yourself to switch to the other when you feel ready. Allowing the head to come back to the neutral placement. Just a few more deep grounding breaths. If you're clenching through the jaw, relax, soften the tongue. And on your next inhale, begin to soften the chest. Bring the hands to the mat or on top of your bolster. And lightly tuck the toes as you start to send your way up through. And then go ahead and set your prop off to the side. We'll start to lay all the way down onto the belly and beginning to cactus goalpost the arms. You'll start to bend at your left knee, coming into half frog. And then you can bring your knee close into the elbow, or maybe you want to keep it right in alignment with the hip. Start to flex through the left toes. And then allow your right ear to rest to the mat. Adding on to this pose, we're going to plant the left hand down, lift up the chest, and begin to weave the right arm through. Palm will stay facing up as we tap into this shoulder space. And then you can either bring the chin and the forehead to rest down. Maybe you bring the right ear to face down again. If this is a little too much for you, feel free to unwind and come back to the first variation. Noticing that you'll start to feel a lot of tinglies right away. I know at least I do. And that is totally normal. This is when we wring out a rag, right? You have that tension, that sensation. And then when we release from this posture, you're going to feel this new wave of energy, this new blood flow start to swirl in. So stay with the breath, stay right here, keep breathing. So we'll start to roll onto our backs here, setting up for a spinal twist. So if the arm isn't already underneath, go ahead and thread it through, planting the left hand and starting to stack the left hip on top of the right, keeping the right arm where it is. Trying to relax the shoulders down as you tee out both arms. And then that left knee can work its way closer up. If you want to juice it up slightly, bring the right hand on top of the thigh and guide the leg closer to the earth. Breathing deeply into our spinal twist. Noticing the sensations through the hips, the side body, the shoulders. And choosing a gaze that works for your neck. Knowing that when you start to feel sluggish in your life and unmotivated and even depressed and anxious, that these are totally normal feelings, and it's not that I'm asking you to push these feelings away. You showed up to your mat, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So now see how we can work with these thoughts and emotions. Just observing and becoming mindful, using the breath as our tool, as a guide to shift this energy around. Taking one more big breath in this space. And as you exhale, begin to roll back onto the belly, planting the left hand, sliding the left leg to meet the right. And gently beginning to make your way onto tabletop position, coming to all fours. Before we tap into the other side, just allowing yourself to release, swaying the hips, inhaling and exhaling, adding a few cat-cows. Noticing all the sensation that you're feeling through the right side body. And then you'll begin to make your way back onto the belly again, slowly lowering down. Cactusing out the elbows and then beginning to bend through the right knee, bringing the knee either in line with the hip or a little bit higher up to the elbow, softening the chest and relaxing the left ear to the earth. If you've lost your connection to the breath, just gently call it back here. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose, keeping the breath even. So if you like to count, think of counting your inhales and exhales for 4 or 5. And taking the next 2 to 3 breaths to start to thread the left arm underneath. Palm will face up, really stack over the shoulders, finding this nice deltoid upper arm stretch, keeping the right hand grounded and softening the forehead, left ear back to the mat, whatever feels most comfortable for you. And as you slowly begin to roll yourself onto your back, keeping the left arm out long, stacking the right hip over the left. Teeing out the arms as you start to soften both shoulders down to the earth. And once again, if you want to find a deeper twist, take the left hand across the right thigh and just gently guide the thigh closer to the earth. And as you begin to unwind from the twist, bringing the arm back down to the mat, coming through onto the belly, and then softly and safely making your way back into tabletop position. We'll start to make our way onto our backs. So it's offering a very heart-opening Shavasana. So taking your prop again, bringing it back behind you. And this time you want to have it vertical. So we will lay the entire spine onto the bolster, bringing the hips to the base. And as you start to recline back, softening the lumbar, mid-back, the neck and the head, allowing the shoulder heads to externally rotate up and down. Palms will face up to the sky. And then choosing where you want to rest your hips and your legs. You can come into Baddha Konasana with the feet together, knees opening for a little hip opener. Maybe you want to extend the legs out long and completely surrender and let go of the legs. Just beginning to soften here in this space, knowing that this practice today was very much of an upper body opening. A lot of times in our yin practice, it is very much focused onto the lower body, which is much needed and definitely a beautiful practice. But today I wanted to offer a lot of shoulder, arm openers, gentle twists, and closing out with the heart reaching up to the sky. As you start to soften the breath, begin to let go of your awareness and control to it. Allowing yourself to melt deeper into the mat as you give the breath to the body. And the body to the earth. And as you begin to breathe back into the body, please choose to stay in this Shavasana for as long as you would like. And when it feels ready for you, just gently roll over onto one side. I'm going to close out this practice. So please, please respect your body, honor yourself. If you want to stay and linger, please do. And if you're ready to go about your day, we'll meet in a closing prayer position, coming into a seated position, bringing the hands to heart center and bowing the head to look within. Taking another inhale, fill up completely. Exhale, open the mouth, sigh it out. Thanking yourself for showing up, and I thank you and appreciate you for allowing me to guide you through this yin practice. Bow forward. Namaste.